Hello and welcome to the DayZ Zombie Survival Guide. This is the first of a 13-part series addressing everything from basic survival tips to the use of the advanced features of the Arma 2 game engine. Today's episode will cover the basics. The more advanced gamers may want to skip to the next episode that'll be up next week. That should challenge some of your skills and increase your survival capabilities. And this week we're going to stick with the basics, giving them newbies something to put them teeth into, instead of the zombies putting their teeth into them. You begin with the Makarov pistol and some magazines. Your aim should be to find a primary weapon, a rifle or a more powerful sidearm. Ideally, you should try to find a Winchester 1866 with slug cartridges as a starter weapon. It's quiet, relatively accurate, and its ammunition is plentiful. Bearing that in mind, you can sometimes find a Lee Enfield, which are longer ranged but louder, attracting more zombies. You can interact with items through your inventory window. To use an item, you can right click it and select the appropriate action from the menu that appears when looting with the mouse wheel. Lootable items show up in the left side of the inventory window. They are highlighted in white and should include a number on the left that indicates the amount available and a number on the right that indicates how many you have in your inventory. Pick up an item, double click it, or click it and press the take button. You can also press the arrow on the right side of the item name. You can dispose of items in your bag by clicking them and pressing drop. Your inventory appears when you press G. It holds the items that you have handy. Your bag appears in your inventory, but its storage is independent. Think realistically, you can't use an item in your backpack unless you take it out of them. To open up your bag and look at your contents, click on it and press open bag. If you're not currently looting, you'll see the numbers change in the left side of the inventory. Numbers on the right side indicate what exists in your inventory, and numbers on the left side show what exists in your bag. Exchange items in and out of the bag in the same manner as I described before for looting off the ground. It is now also possible to change your appearance. Just because you're wearing a camouflage uniform doesn't mean you're a bandit. You can choose from 3 different facial appearances: a standard camouflage uniform, a civilian uniform, and a ghillie suit, both offering different levels of camouflage and different appearances. You can also choose to be male or female at the start of the game, but to a warning for this, you can only choose this once, so make sure to make the right decision. Most zombies walk unless alerted. Zombies are most common near settlements and buildings. Zombies will most often not detect you if you keep quiet, stay crouched, and sneak around. They rely mostly on hearing, as their eyesight is poor. Make sure not to go running around as they'll easily hear you, and especially running around on roads as your sensors are doubled. The best places to fight the zombies are inside buildings, and make sure you've always got an escape route. The worst thing to do is pin yourself in a corner with zombies coming in from every door. If you don't happen to be near a building, a large field will always do, where you can easily predict the zombies' movement patterns. Remember, there's many sorts of other players out there. The majority of them are the same as you, out looking for a good game, but many are looking just to ruin your day, so be careful and always keep alert. Make sure not to trust anyone and always try to play with friends so you've got some backup you can trust. Make sure to avoid open areas, especially roads, beaches and railroads. Always think like someone is targeting you and move erratically around the environment. Try to avoid cities where necessary, but if there is loot that is visible from the exterior, go in there and have a look. If it's worth it, it may be worth the risk. Be wary of anyone with a scope rifle. These are rarely carried by legitimate zombie slayers and mostly used in PvP deathmatch style. Be aware of players travelling in groups. Most players who travel in groups are in some sort of communication on TeamSpeak and will find it easy to plot against you. Let's get started with the in-game health system. DayZ uses a hit point system that measures your blood pressure. From a scale of 0, that means you'd be dead, to 12,000, that's the max blood pressure. Blood pressure is directly lost through damage and can also be lost by bleeding. Your blood pressure determines a number of things, including how susceptible you are to becoming incapacitated and how well you can aim. You can regain 200 blood pressure by eating food, 800 blood pressure by eating cooked meat, and a full blood pressure by receiving a blood transfusion. Another player must administrate the transfusion and must have a blood pack in his inventory. There's 5 sorts of injuries you can suffer while playing DayZ. The first is bleeding. Bleeding is where the plus sign in your blood pressure indicator starts to flash. That means you're splurting blood like an elephant on its period. You should bandage this instantly or you should face death. Secondly, if you're rendered unconscious, a timer will appear in the middle of the screen and you cannot act until it's finished. If you become shocked, say for instance you see a survivor taking a shit in a bush, or by taking significant damage or a gunshot wound, it lasts 5 minutes and is uncurable. Broken bones, this really hurts. You can't stand or walk, you must take a morphine injection. Pain, shaky aim, in the first person, take some painkillers and get back in the fight. The priorities of survival: hunger and thirst. You need to eat and drink, but only enough to keep these icons from blinking red. Running causes you to become more hungry and thirsty more rapidly. Panicking from being attacked will also increase your hunger. You can eat and drink the following things: canned food, canned drinks, canteen water, and hunted meat, all having different effects. My favourite being canteen water that you can easily refill from water, pumps, ponds and other refillable water sources. To eat and drink, right click on the relevant items in your inventory and select the appropriate option. Unlike other zombie survival games, temperature can cause illness and you can become sick. You can catch an infection that will gradually reduce your maximum blood pressure to 10,000 unless you find some antibiotics. You can spontaneously catch a disease due to hypothermia. The chance increases with each degree you drop below the temperature, starting at 31.2 degrees centigrade. If your temperature is below 34.2 degrees centigrade, you may catch something from infected players. The more sick survivors nearby, the higher your chances. Transmission is possible within 8 meters. Regardless of your temperature, if you sustain injuries that cause bleeding, you have a tiny chance of becoming infected. If your hypothermia becomes severe, your vision may begin to shake. To avoid hypothermia, avoid rain and water, or warm yourself with the fire or heat packs. You can start a fire by using matches and wood, which you can find in loot piles, and by using a hatchet in forests. When infected, you will hear coughing in game. The only way to cure an infection is through antibiotics, which can be found in hospitals or by helpful survivors. The first problem that many players encounter when first playing Arma 2 is the options. Normally they'll come into the game and the screen will be blurred, and many do not know the answer. The answer is in the post-processing effects and the anti-aliasing. By lowering these, the screen will become less blurry, and by upping the resolution of the 3D, you should get a higher and more respectable effect, allowing you to play the game at a higher quality and enjoy it at a level that's suitable for you. The next and the final thing we're going to look at is the 3 best places to get loot. Here we have Cherno, Electro and Bolota. Bolota has a military airbase that's perfect for getting some high-end loot. Cherno is a PvP hub as well as Electro, both perfect for gathering loot. This brings episode 1 to a close. Today I've covered most of the basics and give you some good places to start looting, but be careful out there. Hope you like this video, like, comment and subscribe. Next week we'll be moving on to some more advanced features. I'm sorry about the basics, but it needed to be covered. Thanks for watching.